Hey folks, name's Kevin Hanlon. I'm here at my good friend Mark Tandle's house. He's going to demonstrate a little bit of technique and drums. Welcome to his one and only music world. Ready? Mr. Mark Tandle, speak up.
Hi folks, this is Mark Hanlon. This is my music room. This is my drum kit. The whole thing, I call it Frankenstein because it's a big monster made up of a whole bunch of separate parts. But this part right here, I call it 8-ball. It's my basic rock set. And I wanted to show a few of the features on this thing that I don't think any other rock set has. And maybe a few other things. If Kevin, maybe he can move in a little closer and actually show some of the things I'm talking about here. This drum kit has 6 snares on it, 2 10s. Some of them aren't turned down. There's 2 12s, one on my left, one on my right. There's 2 14s. That was not turned on either. Completely different sound when the snares are turned on. That's a little Pearl M8 Ludwig. I have virtually every major brand name of drum manufacturer represented in this room, like Pearl, Ludwig, Yamaha, Tama, DW, PDP, they're all here, everything. This kit, I call it 8-ball because of the double kick basses, and they're pitched differently. I like to turn the snares off so you can hear the true sound of the kick basses and the toms. So I have them tuned like, the left one is really a loud bang. The right one's more of a lower pitch. So I can do stuff like that. So here I can play the tempo and the beat with different feet. They're double pedals on the right, and if I set my heel on the right and my toe on the other one, I get like 3 beats at the same time. I can sound like a damn freight train coming through. So this kit anyhow is set up, I like to have 3 snare drums right in front of me. And the reason is when you're doing simple basic rudiments like a basic paradiddle, which is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. But if you do the double strikes on a different snare, it sounds more like. It gives it a whole different dynamic. 2 of them are over here kind of pitched more like deeper barrel toms. Then the rest of these, I think there's 14 of them. There's 6 cowbells. Some things are set up like these little cymbals over here. What are you looking
Coffee can. Gotta get that in.
Oh, Kevin wants me to show you. This is the only drum kit on the planet.
Ingenuity.
It has a Planter's peanut can set up as an accent piece. I was sitting there eating some peanuts, and I decided you got to have all these accent pieces. I'm the only guy that I know of that ever put an accent chime bell on top of a hi-hat with those. Now my cymbals are set up the way they are so I can do shit like this.
How many cymbals, Mark?
Oh, I think there's 18 of them on here. That thing will ring for 3 minutes if I lit it, but I won't lit it. So I like to play like just your basic rudimentary stuff, like 70% of all rock songs are basically on the. I just get carried away because it's all right off the top of your head. Some things are set up so I can do stuff like this. For instance, these two cymbals over here, they're set so I can hit them or glance off them. So if I'm really taking off just doing a freestyle, which I do 2 or 3 times a day for 10 to 15 minutes, it's my favorite form of exercise. And I wanted to point out the way this thing is actually tuned. They're all Evans heads, by the way, DW pedals, Pearl, it's all maple. Ludwig, there's a few others, there's Thomas, that's a Taille. This is an Avanti, Zildjian, Sabians, Paistes. I got every basic cymbal and drum manufacturer represented here. But the way this thing is tuned, outside of these two, they have a slightly different tone, but the rest of them, they would go. That's the last one, this big 18 inch. Sometimes I like to spin around to my left, so I put this other little Zildjian hi-hat here. Now if I turn on all the snares on this whole kit, sometimes they make a little rattlings. I like to do stuff like these 3 patterns. This one. This one. So if I play them in triplets like that, and I like to do things like go to the right, go to the left, go both ways. Both ways with 2 hands. And there's different ways that you can do simple rolls, man. You can do it with just a 1 strike, like, or a double. Or, you know, 1 with each, so right, left. 2 counts with right, left. Or 1 and a double. Or the other way around, 1 and a double. Or maybe a little trail behind. Like the left hand will follow the right hand around. That way you're hearing the 2 different tones at the same time. So, anyhow, this is 8-ball. It's my favorite way to rock and roll. If you're Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones, you start most things. Oh, yeah. Kevin wants me to show you a little bit.
Something different, folks.
Something different.
He has another eclectic variations of.
I call this my Latin Santana set. It's actually, I think there's 12 individual steel snares and timpalis and some tubes and some other rototoms. And I invented this. This is genuine Chinese Wuhan handmade cymbals that I added cymbal stackers to it. And I think I'm the only person in the world that has a genuine Chinese cymbal tree. And you gotta add one of those and a gong. And it's even an Agazarian Asian hi-hat that adds to it. And another little Asian accent. These are all my Asian cymbals.
Little corner.
Yeah, and now I like to play complete melodies because there's over 14 separately pitched notes here that I can play not only rhythms but melodies if I want. Tubes. If I flip this little lever over, they become snares, which kind of has a neat little sound to them. All three of these do. And you gotta have cowbells everywhere. I own 13 different cowbells around here someplace. You gotta have all your wood blocks and clave, more Asian cymbals.
Get in
So
here.
this is
Look at me, brother. You're
again,
great.
if you're playing basic rudiments, you can do things on this set you just can't do with one drum. With one drum, I can sit here and go. But with this many, I go. Sounds entirely different, but it's basically the same rhythm pattern. Which would you rather play?
All of them? Well done.
Now there's also another section over here. It's more of my Latin hand percussion, African stuff. There's several.
How's that for a setup, huh? Are you jealous yet?
There's several.
How many drums are in here?
178 total pieces that you can hit with a stick. Like right behind you, there's a bass kick drum. There's a xylophone. There's chimes and triangles right behind
yeah.
you. Can you turn the camera?
Yeah. I got so much to look at, folks. You just got to understand.
There's also 20 electric guitars in this room, 7 acoustic guitars, 3 keyboards, an accordion, a harp, an auto harp, a flute, harmonicas. My son Mike says that a 7-piece band can walk into this house empty-handed but play any rock song you can think of because of what's.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the amps yet.
But this is my Latin and African set. There's 3 sets of bongos, congas, and bobbies. These are my favorites. That comes right off. I can play it individually, but you can get some nice African kind of tones. So this is my Latin and African section. And over here, this is just where I like to screw around
Ain't no shit, man. This is a deal.
I like to screw around with the snare drums over here. So I have 4 of them set up. I got a
I'm
sonar, a
blocked off
slinger.
by National Dobro. I have to go around.
That thing's still recording. Anyhow, there's 4 snares and a little Mapex.
You got 15 minutes, 32 seconds.
Oh, well. You can see where you get, if you
Look
have
at me.
more than one snare, you can play more than one. Well,
You're in it. You don't have to lean.
oh, okay, I'm not out of time yet on that camera there.
Roll on, brother. It's your day right now. These
Cowbells.
are minutes.
You just play spontaneously what rocks through your mind when it comes and goes. See how that sounds so much different with 4 different snares instead of just... completely different. Now it's a song instead of just a rhythm. Different ways you can hold a stick. These are like the military ways, you know. I myself, I like going at it like the traditional right hand, or both of them matching, like a lot of my favorite rock drummers do, and a lot of the jazz.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite drummer on the planet is Phil Earhart from Kansas. I've seen him live 4 times. He blows my mind. And I've seen him with Kevin Hanlon. And my second favorite.
Yeah, it was fantastic. In the same camera we recorded the whole episode. Unbelievable.
The whole concert was awesome. And I really, really love Simon Phillips from Toto. He amazes me. And then, of course, Nilpert from Rush. And all those guys play matched. You know, I find more power that way. I can just hit harder. And I don't like hitting something off to the side of where my stick is. I rather point right at it. And there's different ways you can do it with your hands. I like doing shit like this. Another little trick I like to do, set the stick right on the edge. You can do like little one-handed rolls with it. I'm better doing rolls with my right hand than I am with my left hand. My left hand's kind of retarded holding it that way, but it's very adequate this way. So you can use your arms a lot to do a lot of lifting. You can use your wrist this fashion, up and down this way with your palms down. Or you turn your palms this way, and now your wrists are going like that. Completely different physical motion from this to that, or lifting your arms. So it's all just whatever you're comfortable with. I wish I had a left hand that was as good as my right hand. Then I'd be able to play everything I want to play. But anyhow.